Happy Friday and good evening. Welcome to Robert's Reading Room and Reviews. I'm here to do my latest book review, and all I just want to say is that after reading this book, I am so full. It was breathtaking. I learned so much. It opened my eyes. With no further ado, I'm talking about Time's Undoing by Cheryl A. Head. Time's Undoing. This book right here will be on my best reads for 2023. This is the second best book I've read this year. And I even stopped last night because I didn't want this book to end. That's how much I love this book. I appreciate the author, Cheryl A. Head. I actually looked her up on Amazon yesterday, and I see this is not her first debut. I thought it was, but I was mistakenly wrong. She has other books I do plan on checking out, but this book is phenomenal. I love how the author wrote this book. I mean, it's taking place in 1929. The transition from 1929 to 2019 was phenomenal. I mean, I didn't get lost with you going back and forth when you telling this story. 1929 was during the Jim Crow law, depression was going on, and I learned so much reading this book. This book is based off true events. It takes place in Birmingham, Alabama, which I used to live there before I moved here. I'm from Alabama, but I'm not from Birmingham, Alabama. But I was just shocked to read some of the things that took place in 1929. The main character in this book is Megan McKenzie, who is a successful journalist from Detroit, Michigan, and she comes to Birmingham because she is trying to find out what happened to her great grandfather, whose name is Robert E. Harrington, who is originally from St. Petersburg, Florida, and he comes to Birmingham. He comes to Birmingham because something goes down in St. Petersburg, Florida, which I am not going to tell you. You need to pick up Time's Undoing for yourself and you'll know what I am talking about. But he had to leave town. He has a wife by the name of Anna Kate and a daughter by the name of May, and his wife is pregnant with their second child on the way. He is a successful carpentry and he gets a job in Birmingham. He first leaves St. Petersburg, leave his wife and baby on the way there because, like I said, something went down and he's living in a boarding house and he has this job he's doing. He's missing his wife and he eventually goes and get them. He moves to Birmingham in June and he goes back and get his family and things just started happening. I wish he never would have dealt with this particular female at the ballroom because I feel like that's what happened, what unfolded. As I was reading this book, I kept thinking about Shay Moss and her mother and the situation in Georgia and how corrupt not only the police officer, the police department, but politics, how corrupt it is in this world. And I just love you for writing this book because I just want to say that we've come a long way, but not, it's still a lot we need to fight for in this country as a Afro-American majority person in this country, because there's a lot of things that's still not right, and I know I'm not the only one to see it, and it just doesn't sit well, with us. I love Robert Lee Harrington because he wasn't afraid. He supported his family. He stood up for his family, especially when they was on their way to Birmingham and the incident when the car stopped and what he did. I was like, okay. Because normally when you read a story about back in the 20s, even further, you don't see the black Afro American stand up for themselves. I just want to say I just have so much respect for the character, the main character, like I said, Meg, and how she just, when things happen, she did not leave Birmingham. She was there to see through history, want to know what happened to her great grandfather, and she wanted to tell her great grandmother who is still, well, her grandmother who is still living, and she fought for what was right. I love Darius. I'm not a big fan of sequels, but I would have loved to get a follow up on what unfolds with Meg and Darius. I even love Kristen. But for a minute there, I thought Kristen, she was. I just wasn't too sure on her. Like, what was her motive? I thought maybe she would have been on her father's side. I guess what I'm saying. And Kristen is the librarian where Meg go and do a lot of her research and trying to find information on her father and everything. But I just want to say when she went to the church and she was in there with Mrs. Robinson and she was like, "Oh yeah, I got it. Let me go out to my car." And what unfolded there, I was like, "Oh my God." I had to put the book down because it was like that was a scary point in this book. It really was. It was others, but that one was really, really scary for me. I just want to also say I love um, Clarita, and how she did everything toward the end. Everything was revealed. I mean, the justice. Mm. And I will say I learned to like the detective Masterson. I got Madison. I think that's how you pronounce his name. Sorry if I got it wrong. This is definitely a 5 star. I have not did my review, but I am going to do my review on Goodreads. Please check out Time's Undoing by Cheryl A. Head. You will not be disappointed. I love this cover. It is beautiful. And I tried to get it on the release date. I got it that week, but not on the release date. I got to the point now I look on the website at the store. Barnes& and Noble didn't have it, Target. So luckily I wound up at Books A Million and it was right there. This is definitely a 5 star. I want to thank those who support Robert's Reading Room and reviews. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Hit the bell on the side for new and uploaded content. Follow me on Instagram as Robert underscore reading underscore room. Please check this book out. This book has so much more that I just could not touch on because I do not believe in dropping spoilers. You will thoroughly enjoy this book. This book is so full. Thank you, author Cheryl A. Head, for writing this beautiful, heartwarming book. I loved it. I loved it. I love it. Until next time, happy readings. Have a great weekend.